Your kindness is not just a virtue, it is a meticulously observed signal, broadcasting your suitability as a target directly onto a predator's radar, a frequency you never even knew existed. This isn't about cynicism, it's about a chilling truth. Manipulators don't guess their next victim, they map them, and your open-hearted nature is the very beacon they track. Today, you will understand the unseen psychological mechanism known as vulnerability mapping, how certain individuals systematically identify those whose genuine empathy and desire to connect can be weaponized against them. This insight is not merely academic, it is an essential shield, offering a critical lens through which to re-examine every interaction and safeguard your inherent strengths from unseen psychological threats. How does this insidious mapping truly work? Imagine a landscape scatter, not for physical terrain, but for emotional topography. Certain individuals possess an innate, often unconscious, ability to rapidly assess the psychological resources and vulnerabilities of others. This isn't empathy in the traditional sense, but rather a cold, calculated analysis of social cues. They aren't feeling with you, they are analyzing you. Decades of clinical research into predatory personalities, particularly those exhibiting psychopathic or Machiavellian traits, consistently reveal a heightened capacity for social scanning. They observe your reactions, listen to your language, and pay close attention to your boundaries, or lack thereof, all to construct a detailed psychological profile. They look for signals of high agreeableness, a strong desire for harmony, a tendency to prioritize others' needs over your own, and a deep-seated aversion to conflict. These aren't character flaws, they are fundamental human strengths that, in the wrong hands, become precisely what makes you an attractive mark. They don't just see a kind person, they see a path to influence, a door to resources, a leverage point for their own agenda. The revelation is this: the very qualities that make you an admirable human being are often the primary identifiers for those seeking to exploit. The truly unsettling part is how this mechanism operates in plain sight, entirely undetected by most. Consider the scenario in a new workplace. A new colleague arrives, seemingly charming and incredibly helpful, always volunteering, always listening. You might share a difficult personal story, perhaps about a challenging family dynamic or a past professional setback. You believe you are building rapport, fostering trust. But from the manipulator's perspective, this interaction is a data-gathering exercise. Your vulnerability is logged, your desire for connection, your willingness to disclose, your inherent trust. These are all mapped as potential access points. Before this exposure, you might have seen a new friend. After understanding vulnerability mapping, you recognize a meticulous assessment. Or think about the realm of online interactions, where the illusion of distance often lowers our guard. Someone reaches out, expressing profound admiration for your work, your kindness, or even a casual comment you made. They mirror your interests, validate your feelings, and rapidly escalate the perceived intimacy. You feel seen, understood, perhaps even cherished. This rapid bond, this immediate resonance, is rarely organic. It is a deliberate construction. Research exploring Machiavellian intelligence highlights how these individuals are masters of impression management and emotional manipulation, able to simulate genuine connection with chilling accuracy. They might probe your past hurts, not out of concern, but to discover unresolved issues that can later be reopened for emotional blackmail. You see a kindred spirit. They see a lever. Have you ever felt an uncomfortable speed in a new connection, a sense of being known too quickly? That intense early focus, the rapid-fire questions about your past, your dreams, your insecurities, these are not signs of deep connection. They are the active process of psychological surveying, the swift construction of your vulnerability map. They're looking for the emotional wounds that never fully healed, the hidden needs that remain unfulfilled, the quiet desires for validation that flicker beneath the surface. Each piece of information you offer is a brushstroke on their canvas, detailing how they can best navigate your internal world. So, how do you recognize and defend against this invisible threat? There are 3 critical shifts in perception and behavior you can adopt. First, become attuned to the speed of intimacy. Manipulators often accelerate the bonding process, pushing for deep disclosures and emotional resonance far too quickly. If someone seems to know you inside out after only a few interactions, if they're sharing intense personal stories or demanding reciprocal vulnerability at an uncomfortable pace, this should activate your internal alarm. Genuine connection takes time, patience, and mutual respect for boundaries. Rapid escalation is a red flag, often signaling a deliberate attempt to bypass the natural defenses of gradual trust building. Secondly, scrutinize their consistent behavior, not just their words. Manipulators are masters of performative empathy. They can talk a good game, expressing profound understanding or sympathy. However, their actions often contradict their proclaimed intentions. Are their promises consistently unmet? Do they show genuine concern when it's inconvenient for them? Do they only appear when they need something from you, disappearing when you might need their support? Watch for patterns of inconsistency between what they say and what they do. This dissonance is a powerful signal. Look for a persistent pattern of them taking more than they give, of their concern always circling back to their own benefit. Finally, cultivate a healthy skepticism regarding unsolicited flattery and intense validation, especially early in a relationship. Everyone appreciates genuine compliments, but a manipulator often uses excessive praise to disarm you, to inflate your ego, and to make you more receptive to their influence. If someone is lavishing you with compliments that feel disproportionate, or if they seem to instantly understand your deepest desires and insecurities without sufficient interaction, pause. Consider the possibility that this hypervalidation is not an authentic connection, but a carefully deployed tactic designed to bypass your rational defenses and make you crave their approval. It's an attempt to create an emotional dependency. This journey through vulnerability mapping has likely shifted the very ground beneath your feet, making you see every social interaction not just as a casual exchange, but as a potential landscape of intent. You now understand that kindness, while an immutable strength, is also a highly visible beacon in the psychological realm, one that attracts both genuine connection and insidious exploitation. You are no longer navigating blindly. You are now equipped with the inner radar to detect those invisible signals. This isn't about becoming distrustful of everyone. It's about becoming acutely aware of the unseen mechanics that operate in human relationships and understanding that your most admirable qualities demand your most vigilant protection. To truly master this invisible language of influence, to dissect more mechanisms that shape our social reality, and to fortify your understanding against the most subtle forms of manipulation, stay connected. There is a deeper layer to all of this, an even more fundamental truth awaiting discovery that changes everything.